The night pressed down on Ethan's chest, the roar of engines tearing through the darkness. Ethan, the underground racing legend known as the Ghost of the Track, gripped the handlebars so tightly his knuckles turned white. Adrenaline coursed through his veins, but deep inside, a whisper of unease gnawed at him. This track was wrong. They had gathered in an abandoned tunnel. The air reeked of burnt rubber and smoke. The headlights barely pierced the darkness, the echo of engines bouncing off the walls, as if the ghosts of long-dead racers were watching. Signal gas to the floor. The asphalt blurred beneath him, but something flickered ahead. Ethan glanced in the rearview mirror and froze. A rusty, cracked car appeared behind him. Inside, a faceless figure twisted its impossible mouth toward him. "You're next." Ethan shut his eyes, heart pounding in his throat, breath uneven. Cold terror snaked down his spine, as if invisible hands were gripping him. "It's just a race," he whispered to himself. But the trembling didn't stop. His bike swerved as another car shot past, a skeletal grinning driver at the wheel. Ethan regained control, teeth clenched, eyes squeezed shut, but the terror didn't fade. Something was terribly wrong. This wasn't the exhilarating race he lived for. When he finally dared to open his eyes, the tunnel seemed to writhe before him. The asphalt rippled like water, the concrete screaming in agony, the headlights reflecting in 1,000 accusing eyes. "Please let this be over soon," he thought frantically, flooring the gas. The engine roared in response, but it was a hollow sound, devoid of power. Then he heard them. Faint at first, like whispers in the wind. But as he raced forward, the voices grew, echoing off the tunnel walls, seeping into his bones. "Ethan, Ethan, you will stay forever." The tunnel walls began to warp, concrete twisted, forming monstrous faces, their screams vibrating in Ethan's chest like breaking bones. The tunnel wasn't just a race, it was alive, malevolent, and it wanted him trapped within its suffocating embrace. He tried to turn the wheel, but the car wouldn't obey. The asphalt and air seemed to hold him in place, as if the road itself had a will of its own. Then he saw the sign, "Exit 500 meters ahead." Hope flared, almost bringing tears to his eyes, but the road beneath split open. Skeletal black hands clawed through, grabbing the car, tearing at the doors, wrenching the wheel. Ethan screamed, pressing the gas to the floor, tears mixing with the rain, hands shaking uncontrollably. His heart pounded in his ears, drowning out the whispers. "Soon, so close," he gasped, fighting to maintain control. Each meter was a battle against unseen forces, each second an eternity. The exit sign loomed closer, mockingly, tantalizingly out of reach. "Light, the exit." He burst out of the tunnel, slamming on the brakes, stopping with ragged breaths, trembling, his hands still gripping the wheel until it hurt. Silence. Night, it seemed over. He had won. But then, the rearview mirror, Ethan saw himself dead, his face hollow and twisted, eyes black voids. His doppelganger smiled and whispered, "Now you're part of the road, forever." The headlights went out. The engine stilled. The next day, no one remembered the race. It was as if it had never happened. But if you stop at the old tunnel at night, you can hear the squeal of tires and a voice calling your name. That was Asphalt of Shadows. And if you like this story, then check out more content because we have plenty of horrifying tales that will make your skin crawl. And if you want more, we have plenty of terrifying content that will leave you up all night. Click here to see another Reddit story about a creature that lurks in the woods and watches people. Or click here to watch this video. Whatever you do, don't forget to subscribe and leave a like because the scariest part is that some of these stories are inspired by real events. But first, let's get to the comments. Mr. Ugly said, "I love how they keep mentioning that he's a racing legend, yet they keep describing him as driving a car. If he's a racing legend, shouldn't he be driving a souped-up custom sports car and not some family sedan?" Well, it does seem kind of strange that a man who considers himself the ghost of the track would be driving an ordinary car, but I think there could be a couple explanations for this. Firstly, the story mentions that he was driving a bike, and secondly, it seems likely that the more well-known he became as the ghost of the track, the more he had to hide his identity to avoid unwanted attention, or perhaps dangerous challenges like the one in the story. If people knew he was the ghost of the track and recognized his face, then the other racers may have decided to try and destroy him, so keeping a low profile made sense. However, I'm really curious to know what you think. Leave a comment right now. What would you guess is the reason why Ethan chose to drive an ordinary car? But now it's time for our final comment. Raccoon of Chaos said, "Why am I imagining Top Gun Maverick in my head for this entire story?" Well, I am glad you asked because now I can confirm that I am not the only one seeing this. When I read the story, I instantly imagined Tom Cruise in the lead role. There is something about the description of this thrilling and terrifying race. The high stakes, the need for speed, and the battle between good and evil that makes me think it would be a perfect movie. Now all we need is for someone to option this story and then cast the perfect actors. That would be awesome. Thanks for watching. Subscribe and leave a like. And remember, some of these stories are inspired by true events.